everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. We are here with January the 3rd, day 3 of Junk Journal January, hosted by Meg Journals. You can find all the details in my description box. So today our prompt is stained. So the products that I want to use today are actually Tim Holtz products. They are Distress Mica Stain from Ranger and Distress Oxide Spray. So Dusty Concord Oxide Spray and Iron Gate and Mica Stain. I'm just noticing I need to give this another little shake. I did a little bit of shaking, but not enough. So let's do that. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make the back of this lovely piece of scrapbook paper. It's going to be a page in my journal. I want to deal with this white space. I also want to make a bit of a fabric flip, and I have this old stained. It has been washed, but it has this stubborn stain here. It's a vintage cotton doily, essentially. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make everything that is, going to be together, which is these two things. I'm going to stain them similarly so that they're cohesive. So I will first kind of measure this a little bit. I want to even up this edge a little. So I'll take my fabric scissors. I'm going to use this uneven bit of trim for something else. So we'll just cut it off. Toss it in my scraps. Then over here, what I will do is get a general idea of how wide this needs to be. That's pretty good. And we'll just cut up here. Now, the length that I need here is about this. So I will cut here. And I'm going to layer those so that we have a little bit more of a straight edge here, and those are going to get stitched together. I think I will just do two layers maybe. Yeah, okay. So let's stain everything now. So if you followed me for a while, you're familiar with Ye Old Grunge Box, which I use for making messes. It is just the top of a box from some printer paper. So I basically use this surface here to spray all sorts of stuff into, and the box itself gives me this really lovely gridded kind of texture. So what I start with is just adding I'm going to add a little coffee. So this is coffee and rubbing alcohol, and I just put it in a spray bottle, and then I just go over the grunge box a little bit, and then I will start with my oxide spray and just spray it on top. Then a little bit of this mica stain. This one is new, so I just have to pump a little bit so I can get it going. This bottle is brand new, just opened. So the little plunger takes a minute to work. What I will do actually, instead of making you wait, I'm just going to do drops. Oh, look, that's bent. That might be why it was taking so long. Interesting. I have an extra one of these from an empty bottle, so I can switch it out. But I am very curious how that may have happened. How strange. So I'm already seeing some interesting color on my fingers as well. And then I'm going to take a little bit more coffee. So now this is pretty wet. I'm just going to swoosh, swirl, move things around a little. So I think what I'll do first is I will lay the fabric in this really kind of wet area and let it just kind of soak up a bit of the color. Just getting all the excess, because the paper will not need as much as what the fabric will. And see all those nice different colors coming up? Okay, let's just set those aside now. And now I'll take the paper. I'm just going to give another coffee spray, and I'll do one more oxide because I definitely want that oxide. But then everything else will just be whatever happens. And it's going to go through because this is a light color. I'm definitely okay with that. You can avoid that by not making it as wet. Had I not added more coffee, we would not have had bleeding, but I want the color. The main reason I'm using this paper is for this embossed sparkly bit. Okay, so that is fun. I like the staining back here, and you can see the mica. It's nice and shiny. Now we'll go back here and we're just going to work with this as though it's a rag. And we're going to just get as much of the color as we can. Now, I'm not going to add any more liquid to this. I'm just going to smoosh it. Smoosh it around in my hand, roll it a little, get all the color as though it's just a paint rag. Okay, so that's really cool. I'm hoping a little bit of white stays, and it did. Perfect. Okay, so now we're done with the box. Okay, so now we have some really fun stained fabric. Really like that piece, and then we'll just pick what side we like the most. I think I like that and that. So what I'll do is I will go and I'm going to stitch across the top here. I think I might just grab, hold on, maybe this will work. I want some kind of so this is a different kind of staining. So this is tea stained lace. I did this the other day. This one might be nice. Let's try to decide what part of the lace I would like to use as the top for this. So I have a little bit. I think perhaps what I want to do is just cut this. Yeah, we'll add that like that. Okay, so I will stitch all of this together, and then I'll come back and we will add it to the page. And then I think we will have a nice usage of stained, so give me 2 seconds. Okay, so we are stitched, and also I remembered to dry everything because I thought it would be better to show this to you now that it's nice and dry and it doesn't still look kind of wet and mottled. So here's the paper. So the staining is a little less on the outside now that it's dry, but it does still leave some staining. Again, you can avoid bleed through by not using as much coffee, but I like that. I like adding extra texture. It makes it not just a piece of scrapbook paper. I really love how the back turned out. So hopefully you can see we got a lot of color range, and hopefully in the light you're seeing that there is, from that mica stain, it's like sparkling, right? So it's really nice. So we got purples, we got browns, we've got pink, some green and blue. Like a lot of color came out of those two colors with coffee. And I see the same thing here. So I love how these iridescent sequins look all tea-dyed. So I'm seeing the gray from the mica spray. I wasn't expecting anything exciting on fabric with mica because it's hard to make it sparkle, but I wanted the color. So again, I'm getting bits of green, pink, purple, brown, a little bit of a yellowy tinge. So I really love how this lace looks stained. This is a really nice way to make a journal cover as well, to just let your colors bleed. This feels almost like raku pottery to me, or like an aurora borealis here. Like it's really crystal, like it's hard to explain. Like hopefully you can see the color here. It almost looks like aurora borealis or something. It's quite cool, like the northern lights. So what I'm going to do with this is I want to put just a fabric flip on this page. So I'm going to do that here, and I will just do that with art glitter, or not, sorry, art glitter, 3-in-1 glue, or Fabri-Tac. Any beacon adhesive glue is good, or any other fabric glue that you may use. And then we come here and just pop that down. So then inside the journal, you'll have a little hidden journaling space and a little bit of something interesting to look at. And then you can write your secret things underneath this little flap. So that is it for me for today. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back tomorrow for day 4 of Junk Journal January. Bye for now.